Welcome back class 8 students. I am your English grammar digital mentor and I'm back again with a new chapter which is chapter number 17 of your books, phrases and clause. So open your books, pick up your pencils and we'll start with the starter part. Here we have to write which one is a phrase and which one is a clause. So we are given two pictures. Let's start with the first one. A part says what a novel. Second part says the boy is reading a novel. In the first part, what a novel is a phrase, and the second part, the boy is reading the novel, is the clause. In the second picture, we have how nice to meet you. Here it is a phrase, and the second part, I met my friend today, is the clause. Now let's learn more about phrase and clause in this chapter. So let us start with part number A, which is definition of phrases. A phrase is a group of words that make sense but not complete sense. A phrase may consist of one word or more than one word. For example, Megha likes drawing pictures. In the above example, the highlighted words are all phrases. Now let's see different kinds of phrases. Phrases are of different kinds based on different parts of speech. But the following three kinds are important. First one is noun phrase, second is adjective phrase, and third one is adverb phrase. Let's start with noun phrase. A group of words that act as a noun in a sentence is called a noun phrase. For example, children love watching cartoons. The next is adjective phrase. A group of words that act as an adjective in a sentence is called adjective phrase. For example, Mr. Sharma is a man of few words. Next is adverb phrase. A group of words that act as an adverb is called an adverb phrase. For example, I searched for my purse in every place. Now let's underline the phrases in the following sentences and write their kinds. The first one is helping the needy is noble. Helping a needy is noble. In this sentence, noble is a noun. So here this is a noun phrase. So we will write noun phrase in the given blank. In this way, you have to do rest of the parts of this exercise by yourself. Let's move on to the next topic, which is clause. A clause is a group of words that forms a part of a sentence and has a subject and a finite verb in it. A clause has one finite verb in it. Now read the following examples. First word is, my mother gave my sister a gold chain. Here it is a phrase. But in the second sentence, my mother gave my sister a chain which was made of gold. Here it is a clause. The third sentence is, my mother gave my sister a chain which was made of gold. This is a complete sentence. Now, a phrase has no finite verb. A phrase cannot stand on its own. A clause has one finite verb. A clause may or may not be able to stand on its own. A sentence has at least one finite verb. A sentence can always stand on its own. When a clause cannot stand on its own, it is part of a sentence. When a clause stands on its own, it is also a sentence. Now let's see different kinds of clause. There are two types of clause. First, main or independent or principal clause. Second is subordinate or dependent clause. For example, Rahul drives to work early so that he can avoid being late. In part 1 of the sentence, Rahul drives to work early. Here, Rahul is the subject and drives is a finite verb. Hence, it is a clause. Also, it makes a complete sentence. A clause that has a subject and a finite verb and makes complete sense by itself, it is called the main or independent or principal clause. Now, let's look at part 2 of the sentence so that he can avoid being late. This part gives additional information about the main clause. Also, it does not make complete sense. Hence, it is dependent clause. A dependent clause depends on the main clause to make complete sense. Its importance is less than the main clause, so it is called a subordinate clause. Now, let's do some questions related to these concepts. Here we have to underline the main clause and circle the subordinate clause in the following sentences. The first one is I met a friend who helped me a lot. In this sentence, I met a friend is independent. So this will be the main clause, and the rest part, who helped me a lot, it is dependent on the first part of the statement. So it will be the subordinate clause. In this way, you have to do rest of the parts of this exercise by yourself. Let's move on to the next topic, which is kinds of subordinate clause. Now, subordinate clause are of three main kinds, which are noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Now, noun clause. A clause which acts as a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. For example, he knew that he would qualify. He knew is the main clause. That he would qualify is the subordinate noun clause as it answers the question what. A noun clause can act as the subject or the object or the complement of the verb or the object of the preposition in the sentence. A noun clause begins with the words that, how, what, when, where, whether, if, which, who, why. Now read the following sentences carefully. The first one is, my mother asked me whether I had prepared for my exams. Second one is, I knew whether the teacher would come. Third one is, our teacher wondered why the students were absent. Fourth one is, the mechanic says that the fan did not work. Fifth one is that he will be appointed in the job is certain. Now let's do some questions. Here we have to supply suitable noun clause to complete the following sentences. The first one is you should remember. So here we can write you should remember to do your homework. In the similar manner, you can write anything using your ideas. So the rest of the parts you all have to do by yourself. Let's move to the next topic, which is adjective clause. A clause that acts as an adjective in a sentence is called an adjective clause. It describes a noun of the main clause. It begins with a relative pronoun. For example, that, who, which, whom, or whose. It also begins with the relative adverbs. For example, when, where, and why. For example, the girl who came today is my sister. Second one is the boy whom you know is my friend. The girl whose mother is a teacher has come here. Now, for living things, we can use who, whom, whose. For non-living things, we can use which, that, of which, where, and the word that we can use for both living and non-living. Now, related to these concepts, let's do some questions. Here, we have to supply suitable adjective clause in the following statement. The first one is the train's dash got delayed because of fog had to wait. So here we can write the trains which got delayed because of the fog has to wait. In the same manner, you have to do rest of the parts of this question on yourself. Let's move on to the next topic, which is adverb clause. An adverb clause describes the verb in the subordinate clause. It acts like an adverb in a sentence. Now study the below table. Here in the first column we have adverbial clause, that is time, place, or reason or cause. The linking word for time will be when. For example, I came when students were about to leave. For place, the linking word will be where. For example, you may sit where you like. And for any reason or cause, we can use the linking word as or because. For example, my father will not attend the meeting as or because he is out of the city. Now let's see some more. For condition, we use the linking word if or unless. For example, I shall help you if you behave yourself. The next function is effect or result. For them, we can use a linking word that. For example, we are so happy that we want to celebrate. Now, next is manner. We can use a linking word as or as if. For example, my friend acted well as he usually does. He acted as if he was happy. Now, for comparison, we can use as or then. For example, she is as brave as her mother. or we can write Aryan is taller than Rinki. Now using these concepts, let's do some questions. In this question, we have to complete the following statement with suitable clause. Jasbir did not help me. Here we can write when I needed him. So our statement will be Jasbir did not help me when I needed him. In this way, you have to do rest of the parts of this exercise by yourself. With that, we are completed with our chapter. So practice as much as you can, and we'll meet in the next class with a new chapter. Till then, take care and bye-bye.